Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today, wanted to go ahead and make a video talking about what it actually costs us to get down to Jennings GP for our track weekend that we did. Now, it was myself, my buddy Kyle, King KDP Rides. He's got his YouTube channel. And then my girlfriend Courtney. We live in Northeast Ohio, so it was about 2,000 mile drive round trip, a little over 2,000 miles to get there and back. We spent about 36 hours in the truck in total. We did 3 days of driving and 3 days of riding. Now, I thought this would be a really great video for anybody who's looking to kind of figure out what it actually costs to start doing either get into track days, do long distance traveling for track days, for track weekends and stuff across the country. Or maybe you've done a bunch of track days, you're looking to start traveling more, whatever. I just thought I'd make this video to show you guys kind of what it realistically looks like to get into track weekends like this. So hopefully this is helpful to some of you guys, and let's go ahead and let's get started. All right, guys, so the way I'm gonna do this, I'm just gonna go from most expensive expense to the least expensive expense. And starting that off is going to be tires. I burned through 3 full sets. I bought 3 sets for the weekend, burned through all of it. I run Pirelli SC2 rears and SC1 fronts. I went through 2 sets on the V4 and 1 set on the V2. That came out to $1,460 to basically feed the beast on this. The V4 really likes to eat, and Jennings is also super abrasive, so that didn't really help. But yeah, about $1,460 to have those tires shipped and delivered to my house. All right, next thing we needed, guys, was a place to stay. So we ended up finding an Airbnb down the street, literally like a mile down the road. It was just perfect. That ended up costing us $795, I believe. That was we stayed there for 4 nights. Maybe it was 5. Anyway, whatever. We stayed there for at least 4 nights, $795 for a place to stay. All right, guys, next thing we ended up spending money on was feeding my truck Larry here. Ended up putting $644.19 in the tank of this thing. Fortunately, diesel prices were pretty affordable along the way. Buc-ee's was like 75 or 80 cents cheaper than everywhere else, and we hit, basically that's like the place we stopped at the whole way down, just because they had lots of food. It was a great stop, tons of pumps. But I think we did 13.8 miles to the gallon towing the trailer here. But yeah, definitely that was the next largest expense for us. All right, guys, so next thing, had to obviously pay for the track weekend for Jennings. 3 days was only $400 to ride. So really affordable price on the track day, $400. I think like Barber is like $975 for 3 days. Pittsburgh is $275 a day, I think, through N2. So definitely $400 for 3 days, not complaining. All right, guys, so the next thing I ended up spending money on was food. Driving down, driving back, and groceries while we were there and all that stuff. Ended up spending $314.70. Now, our good friend Morrison was kind enough to buy us dinner the one night. Shout out to Morrison, just a phenomenal guy. He's actually the one that invited us, so thank you, Morrison, if you see this. But in total, $314.70. Not too bad for 6 days and being on the road for 3 days of that. But yeah, that was the next biggest one. All right, guys, so the last 2 is just all related to the bike. I spent about $90 in maintenance reserves, essentially, for oil, Moto 300V for the bike and an oil filter, and then ended up putting about $80 in the tank between the 3 days on both bikes. So relatively smaller expenses, but you kind of always got a budget for maintenance on the bike. And obviously these things, especially the V4, really likes gas. I went through about 20 gallons. The V4 probably burns a little over 1/3 of a tank for a 20-minute session. So she's thirsty. But yep, that's pretty much wraps it up for the expenses. So let's go ahead, let's total it up. All right, guys, so I got it all totaled up for you. It looks like it came out to $3,783.90. Now, Kyle and I ended up splitting fuel costs, and we split the Airbnb, which worked just great. So with that, my new personal total came out to $3,064.30. So bringing a friend along was super helpful. Thank you to Kyle for kind of pitching in for the costs for the trip. That obviously makes a big difference, almost $1,000 for myself out of pocket to make that track weekend happen. But yeah, just about $4,000, $3,800 if I was gonna go do this solo, and about $3,000 with Kyle coming with us and all that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like. Obviously, Jennings is super abrasive. I'm on a motorcycle that's got more power than anybody ever needs, so it was definitely just a tire shredder of a weekend. Even on the V2 loves its tires, so that really doesn't help. And fuel economy for the truck, if it was summertime, it would be a different story. I've seen 16.8, 16.9 on the fuel economy hand calculated on my truck Larry over there. So down to 13.8, that's definitely just a wintertime crankiness of the truck. Maybe with the mountains, we would have gotten 15.5, 16, but at least a little bit better. So given the circumstances, I don't think it's too bad. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of what it looks like to go on a 2,000 plus mile journey to get to a racetrack on a bunch of Ducatis. Kyle might make his video hopefully in the future. Maybe we'll see what he ended up spending. That man did really good. He did not go through almost any tires. He was running a really hard tire though. But yeah, look out for that. Check out Kyle's channel again. Hopefully this was semi-informative to you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully it even helps just one of you guys. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one, guys.